Welcome everybody to another Voice of Nick show. 皆さんようこそ。もう一度、美術作るのストリームです。そして今日は、イーブです。僕は楽しみ。家族の、うち、昔のうちにいますから、たくさん、家族の時があります。とても楽しい。そして今回はヘラクレスの、4番目のイメージ。今回、大きな豚ボア作ります。We're going to be doing this fourth picture of Heracles, which is, this one is my thing is, we want to do the boar this time, and I think we'll have him holding the boar over here, so we have to kind of like, here's what we're going to do first. We're going to actually grab, oops, oh, I could have done it right there. We're going to grab the entirety of this frame so we know how much room we have to work with, because at this point, when we're working in the corners, we kind of have to be careful that we don't run out of space. So we will give it a little bit of extra space because we don't want it to look, we want it to run off the page. We don't want it to just look like it's, you know, made for this picture. But we'll try to make it so that none of the important parts get cut off, if that makes sense. So we're gonna put like a divider here. This is the border of the image. Okie dokie. Paste that in. And now let's just turn all this into a background layer so it doesn't get confusing. And for this, we're gonna, let's use the red. And now this, oh, you know what? We want actually this to be out of the background layer. And did I draw something on this? I think I did. What is this? Okay, we're good to go. Now, we can turn this to half transparency because we don't really need to see it. We'll kind of continue the lines from this. Just so that we know where his feet can go. And now we'll start drawing. I have a bunch of pictures of the boar of varying sizes. It would be really cool if we could fit a lot more of this thing in, but I don't know how easy that's going to be to do. Well, let me get my picture of Theseus in here as well. Because these while we're not necessarily like using the Theseus stuff for direct inspiration, a lot of times we're using it as kind of like the inspiration for the style of figure that we're doing. So let's see, do we have any that kind of look like what we want here? Maybe the closest is this. Okay, I'm going to twist my reference image around. Then I'm also going to grab this one. Okay. Good. And so So if we can get the board to kind of live like this, but that's the thing, is if the board is facing off in this direction, we might want to flip this picture if that's the case, because the boar head is pretty important to know what this picture is. So if something's going to get cut off, it should be the other side, where the butt of the boar is. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. First, we are going to make this smaller. Usually they would do it in the other direction with the feet. Like the other foot would lead, but we don't have to do that. I think this kind of looks cool, and it also contracts his body in such a way that it fits our frame better. Now let's take these. We're going to scale them up to work on our picture, because we know what the picture looks like now. We can flip it, I guess, at the end. Although I do kind of want him to be going this way, like he's kind of climbing up, for the sake of not necessarily the piece of pottery where all of these would be equivalent to being a flat plane, but for the sake of the picture. So let's grab the black tone that we're using. Doesn't really matter to match this exactly, but we'll do it. And then, good. Now we're gonna take this, take this and make it even lighter. And we're gonna take this and make it like 50%. So we can see what we're doing. All right. It's kind of hard to decide where. Also, I can't really tell. I think this was my arm right here. Where to start with this, because there's a lot of layered items happening. We're going to start with the hand, actually, and work our way downwards. Do I not have the bones on for this? Do not. See, now we're being able to sort of tell when this feature is on, because it is very useful in keeping our lines clean. What? Oh, I drew this on the background layer. That's okay. Well, I guess that doesn't matter. So we're gonna see this. Okay. What we want to do then is make a new layer. New layer. Oh, this thing is, it's gonna freeze. New layer. Oh, look, now all the new layers came in. So we're gonna take this, put it under. We're gonna take this and make it 50. And we're just gonna trace what we did a second ago. Keep that. Okay. And he would probably have his head kind of hunched with this one, because it'd be pushed forward from the weight of the boar on his back. All right. Oops. All right, we're gonna fix that a little bit later. Okay. So this we can now get rid of. We don't need that reference anymore of the hand. We're also gonna make his, gonna make his forearm a little bit more thick. Actually, let's do it like this. So he's going to be holding in his hand the, in both hands, he's going to have the legs of the boar. Let's pull in another Heracles head. I guess the same one that we referenced the first time. And we'll see about changing it once we get it in. I really like mobile Photoshop though. I mean, the amount of stuff that we've discovered in these, like, however many episodes since we started doing this has been really, it's been a lot of fun. So for this, let's see if we have any instances of, like, for example, in this Theseus picture, you never see him look any direction forwards. It's always a perfect 90 degrees. He's looking left or he's looking right, even when it doesn't really make physical sense. That's just kind of like a Greek aesthetic. So I guess we'll kind of match that. You know, because I would want him to have like he's looking like 45-degree angle, but I don't think it would really fit the theme that we're going for. So I like this where he's looking back at the boar. We'll just merge that in. It sort of works exactly as it is. But maybe for this one, I don't know, because I was going to say we'll give him the lion head, but it's sort of, I don't know. It might take away from the action because he's holding the boar on his head and the boar is also, or there's also like another thing on his head, like it might be too much. So let's just do this for now. We're making a new layer to do the boar stuff. Yeah, you know what? Let's make it so that if we do it so that the left, or the boar's right arm is not, the boar's left arm is not coming across into Heracles' hands, then we can sort of have the boar be a lot chunkier. There's a really cool image, I don't know where it came from, of the boar just being massive. It's like, it's got to be like 12 feet across, and Heracles is just holding it on his back. It's like, you know, like a giant boulder or something. He's bringing it into the chamber of whoever, whatever that guy's name was. And I would like to at least get some degree of, you know, resemblance to some kind of like interesting scale to this boar. Have him be clearly like pretty big. Now the thing about this is that the boar head might not even make it into the picture. I guess it depends on how much we end up liking our boar head, you know, at the end of the day. That'll determine how hard we fight to get it into the frame. There's a really cool aesthetic that one of these did where, number one, it's got like a looping tail, which we might not need any more of that after all the looping stuff with the Hydra, but I think it's a fun addition. Number two, there's this kind of like a sort of hair that goes across the boar, across the top part. Let's see if we can get that in. Okay, good, but I think we want his arm to be longer and the boar's arm to be longer. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay. Great. That's pretty cool. Let's take out this reference. Good. I think we can sort of start merging this now, so let's get rid of all the parts that intersect with Heracles. Good. Now we gotta get rid of a couple parts on Heracles. great. We're also gonna change the foot so that it fits within his hand, maybe make it a little bit smaller. I also want this to be a little thinner. I don't really like the line weight on some of these parts of the foot because we enlarged it. But that looks good for now. I think Heracles also, we got to give him that same, whatever, Speedo thing every time if we're going to do it at all. What is going on? The bones are killing me here. Great. And I guess we'll leave the boar as its own layer since we have it. Since it can be its own layer. Okay, let's copy these. And we'll put him with the boar right in here. Uh-oh, don't want that. So he doesn't fit at this time. Number one, oops, we could have him over here. We could also flip him so it doesn't look like he's doing the same thing. I think that works better for what this picture is. Because the boar's head fits a lot more clearly into this space. And on this side, we can do Stymphalian birds where Heracles is shooting a bow and like a bird is sort of just flying around, maybe like over here or something. I think down here he's going to be wrestling with the stag or whatever that thing is. So let's give him a background now. And I think we're just going to do one background for him and the boar. And it's nice that we have these pictures on their own documents in case we ever want to go back and, you know, sort of start again, reorganize them. Like we're not committed to some of the compositional changes. I think that's pretty important for some of these ones that we're doing that are like, you know, large amounts of characters. Same with the athlete games one. And we're going to move him into the frame a little more for a second just so we can get his leg that is not currently in frame. Just in case we decide later that we want to move him, then we'll have it ready. We're also going to put a little white area around this black Speedo thing. Okay, good. Let's put him back where he was. And essentially we want it to feel like the image is continuing past where, past where we are showing in the artwork. So like, as if this is supposed to be Eurypylus' shield, and it would obviously be a full circle of all the labors of Heracles. And the idea of this artwork is it's like zooming in on one section of the shield. So now, good. Let's take a look with the black. Looking good. There's kind of a cool tone that this one picture has. And that's the last step that we're going to do, is like getting all the... We're putting in colors now, but we can change all the colors in post-processing, so it doesn't really matter what we put in, which is why all the backgrounds look so flat and everything. But like colors and textures are the last stage. And a lot of that stuff is... it looks very, very like nothing now, but eventually it will be a lot more interesting. So that's going to do it, ladies and gents, for this one. We got another of Heracles' labors in pretty quick, so I'm happy about that. And then I think here is going to be the Stymphalian birds. Here, I think we can fit a whole scene of him wrestling the stag. And then I don't know what's going to go here. Maybe some kind of little texture or something. This is like outside the shield, so maybe nothing will go there. And I really don't know how we're going to handle putting a border on this one, if it's like a border around the shield, which also has a border. So that's going to be another challenge. But yeah, I think we got something pretty cool here, ladies and gents. So I will see you next time. Thanks for watching the show. If you want to see more of the channel, don't forget to hit the follow button. The channel is called The Voice of Nick. I stream 3 times a day on here, so there's plenty of stuff. And we've recently been working on this artwork for my published edition that I'm going to be publishing of this Greek story called Posthomerica. So if you keep your eyes out for that edition of the book that I'm publishing, you will find all the artwork. And we are also working on an audio book, which I've been doing on stream as well. So you can find that on Amazon and Audible when it comes out. You can find more info, !Troy, in the chat, because the story is about the fall of Troy. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching the show. エピソードを好きだったら、チャンネルをフォローしてください。皆さん、ありがとうございました。このヘラクレスの美術はいつも楽しい。これはとっても楽しい。このスタイルは新しい僕に。そして今回、次回はまたね。